If you're neurodivergent, then freedom of choice can feel like an absolute nightmare. In this video, I'm explaining why and what we can do about it. So let's get started. Your brain sees all the possibilities, and that makes picking just one incredibly daunting, even when the choice has little or no consequence. That's because decisions are made on an executive level, and we struggle with executive function. We're not just choosing not to choose, we're actually struggling with processing the choice in the first place. We also can be incredibly impulsive, which means that we often skip over the decision-making process so we don't get to exercise that muscle. Making a decision, any decision, under these circumstances is going to be challenging. Not to mention the fact that neurodivergent brains take in more information and hold on to more information. So we see all the tiny details of a decision, not just the broad strokes, which means for us, no decision is ever simple. And this complexity that we create can leave us feeling absolutely paralyzed in indecision. On top of that, ADHDers specifically have low dopamine, which means that we are low on motivation for decision making and for action. We crave stimulation, which means that even routine decisions are hard for us. We worry that we'll regret our decision or that we'll make other people upset by the choices we make. And thanks to our perfectionism, if we don't feel like we can make the perfect choice the first time, we're not likely to make any decision at all. Whether it's staring at a menu, having that panic rise inside of you because everyone else at the table is ready to order, or putting off life decisions because it's just too hard to choose. It's a real struggle for us. Decision making affects so many areas of our life, and it's not something we can just avoid. So we fall into this vicious cycle of overthinking, making a decision, regretting that decision, overthinking some more, changing our minds, and it just keeps going like that indefinitely. And because we do this in so many areas over time, it's really challenging for us to trust that we're capable of making any decisions at all. Personally, I have a huge decision to make. And I mean, it's not life or death, but it sure feels like it to me. So maybe you guys could help me. I'm trying to decide whether I want to finish this piece that I've been working on, or if I should just set that aside, leave it unfinished, and work on that huge dollhouse in the back there. It's brand new and it's giving me so much dopamine just thinking of starting it. But because I haven't been able to make a decision, both of these projects have been sitting idle for literally months. One gives me challenge and the other gives me novelty. And that's a really hard choice. Like I said, not life or death. But that hasn't stopped me from rolling this decision around in my head for far too long. So what do you think? Put it in the comments whether you think that I should work on this piece, which is a large-scale miniature collage combination thing that I've started, or if I should scrap that and start working on the brand new dollhouse. The truth is that making decisions is hard, even when you have a full toolbox of tools to use. Sometimes the easiest thing to do is ask for help. And that is made easier if the people you're asking help from know the tools too. So let me share them with you. Tip number 1 is to limit your options. Spoiled for choice is rarely a good thing. So narrow it down. Say you have 10 options, then start pitting them against each other. Which would you prefer, A or B? If it's B, then ask yourself, do you prefer B or C? If it's still B, then go on to D. Do you prefer B or D? And if you get stuck and you really can't choose, then just set one aside and move on. Eventually, you'll narrow it down to just one option. Tip number 2 is use routines to reduce your everyday choices. Ever get home and you're unable to decide what to make for dinner? You can't stop yourself from eating junk food at 9 and forget about going to bed early. That's because you've reached decision fatigue. And once you reach that point, there's really nothing you can do to make those choices any easier. So don't allow yourself to get to that point. Narrow down those choices. Try meal planning or creating a capsule wardrobe. Whenever possible, reduce the amount of work your brain needs to do, and it'll become easier to make the decisions you have no choice in making. Tip number 3, use a timer. It is so much easier to make a choice when you're on a deadline. We have this incredible ability to drag out a decision indefinitely if we allow ourselves to. So give yourself a time limit and make the choice when the alarm goes off, even if it's an impulsive decision. If it doesn't feel right after you've made it, then just switch to the other choice. Sometimes you need to make the wrong decision before you can make the right one. And that's fine, as long as you course correct as quickly as possible. Tip number 4 is write it out. Use a journal, a planner, make a pros and cons list, whatever you need to do to get that stuff out of your brain and onto the paper. This is going to make decision making so much easier because you can externally prioritize your choices and you don't have to worry about forgetting anything. Sometimes the best options are left off the table simply because we forget that they even exist. And if you're still having trouble, then talk to a friend about it because that gets it out of your head just as well. And tip number 5, get creative. When life gets hard, it's easy to tell yourself that you don't have time for play. But the opposite is true. When you get your hands dirty, you're creative and you're playing, then you start to see things that you don't necessarily see otherwise. So if you're stuck in a decision and you can't make a choice, no matter how hard you try, make some art about it. It's not necessarily going to make the decision for you, but it could reveal angles that you haven't thought of before, even if it's not actually about the choice at all. Because creativity and play relaxes your brain. And a relaxed brain is far more likely to choose wisely. So get creating, which you know is always going to be my advice. Thanks for watching. I'm Kristen. This is Creatively Divergent. I make videos every week on neurodivergence and creativity, so hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to write in the comments which piece I should work on, the miniature collage piece or this enormous dollhouse in the back. Help me make that call, and I'll see you next week. Bye.